Hello, everyone. Very warm welcome to this 1 hour session on advanced aspects of inheritance tax and trusts. Um, we've got 7 topics to have a look at over the course of the next 60 minutes or so. And I thought I would begin by dealing with the recent resident changeover for inheritance tax purposes. As I hope you know, exposure to inheritance tax and indeed to the capital taxes before it has hitherto been tested by reference to your domicile status. But with effect from 6th of April 2025, so just over 6 months ago, the UK has moved to a residence-based regime. This was set out in the current year's Finance Act 2025. And what the rule now is that if you're classified as a long-term UK resident, you're liable to inheritance tax on transfers of both UK and overseas assets. Obviously, anyone else, in other words, someone who is not a long-term UK resident, is only subject to inheritance tax on transfers of UK-situated assets. So obviously, it all depends on the meaning of the phrase long-term UK resident. And that means someone who has been resident in the UK for 10 or more of the previous 20 tax years. No requirement for those years to be consecutive. You just look at the previous 20, so it doesn't include the current one. You're looking at the last 20 before that. And if you've been resident in the UK for 10 or more of those, then you're classified as a long-term resident. And the key point to remember is that once someone has satisfied what I've called that 10 out of 20 test, they retain that status for as long as they remain UK resident and also for a further number of years even after they leave the UK. Those further number of years are commonly referred to in the jargon as someone's tail. The default length of a tail is 10 years, but it can sometimes be shortened if the person has been resident in the UK for the full 20 years prior to their departure. The minimum length of a tail is 3 years, but if you have a look at the little box, which I think is on the second page of the notes dealing with this chapter, you will see I've set out there the requirements for anywhere between 13 and 20 years.